Look at this beauty. It's a Konica film camera from so many years ago. So I'm going through my old cameras and I feel so nostalgic because I remember how I started in photography. And it was over 14 years ago. Then I had this one as well. I'll show you two of them. This one, Canon, 4 megapixels. So this is insane how technology advanced when I say this. And this one is a better one and it's 7 megapixels. And it has like a bigger screen. But I was shooting with these compact cameras many years ago before I first took a DSLR. And I'm gonna show you my first camera ever. It's when I realized I wanted to do photography. And it may serve you as a lesson as well because I'm gonna tell you my experience, which is this one. It's a Lumix camera, and it's a compact camera, okay? It's not a DSLR. And this one was the first one I've ever bought. So my parents were doing photography as a hobby and they told me, Laura, don't buy a compact camera because you're gonna fall in love with it most likely and you're gonna throw the money. It's better if you buy a DSLR right away. And it's like, no, I'm very lazy, I don't wanna have to change lens. Well, a few weeks with this one, this is what happened exactly. Like I regret it a lot. It's a great camera, I did great photos with it. Not great because I was a beginner, but the quality was good for the days. But then I realized I wanted more. I fell in love with it and then I bought my 30D, my Canon 30D. This video is gonna be quite long because I'm gonna try to reply every single question you guys drop me on Instagram, but I'm gonna miss probably few of them because otherwise it's gonna be like an hour-long video. So sit down and relax because it's gonna be long. I'm gonna tell you so many things about my experience, all the questions you asked me about my career, how I started. So I think it's gonna serve you a lot because from experience is how you learn. Who are you most inspired by? To be fair, I get inspiration from many other creators. It's insane. I'm all the time on YouTube because I follow so many other creators I love that do filmmaking, do photography, and I admire all of those because I believe there are so many incredible talents out there and I love their photography, I love their videos, and I'm like, wow, they are amazing. Maybe they are traveling the world. And I love that. So I don't have a specific person I look up to. I just love everyone who does what they love for a living. And that's why I pursue this and I do it and I'm very happy because I think you have to be very brave to follow your dreams as a creative because it's not easy at the beginning. It's not easy at all. You guys may know that because in a society that tells us we have to work in a 9-to-5 job for someone else, it's very hard to swim against the current and follow your dreams. So I admire every single person who follows their creative career. Why did you start with photography? I didn't intend to start in photography. My parents introduced me to it because they did it as a hobby. So once I went with them, they asked me, come with us, you're gonna like it. I mean, I'm not sure, I'm lazy, you know? I didn't feel curiosity for photography at the beginning. And then when I took a camera for the first time, my dad's camera, I loved it. And then it's like, okay, but I'm gonna take a compact camera because I'm not sure I want to change lenses and spend so much money because it's a lot of money. You know that. And then suddenly, after experiencing with the compact camera, I took a DSLR, I went to the beach to do surf photography. You may know this if you follow my channel. And I fell in love with it. There is something very rewarding about getting better, taking better pictures, capturing the right shot, and then suddenly you feel so excited. Like, I don't know how to explain, you guys may know this. When you get a good shot, you feel like this dopamine hitting your brain, like, oh my God, I love this picture. And suddenly I wanted to do photography and I'm not gonna stop because I love it so much and more every day. The next one would be, can I use a tablet instead of a PC to edit if I'm on a budget? Absolutely. I have the iPad Pro and when I don't wanna carry my laptop, I do edit with Lightroom in my iPad Pro and I love it. Lightroom is such a powerful app and software on the desktop to edit your photos. And I think even in the phone, you can edit pictures perfectly because I did it before even on my phone. So I do believe you can do it. How do you manage to push boundaries and get out of your comfort zone? I love this question because I know so many of you struggle with this and I've used to as well. Everyone struggles with this because we have a stable job and then we are always scared. We are always too scared to make a change. I became very ambitious and I had to recognize since I left my country and I went to London without knowing anyone, without having a job, without money, and sharing a hostel room with 15 people, sleeping with my camera bag, you may know this if you follow me. Since I did that, I became so brave about many aspects in my life. It doesn't mean I wasn't scared. I was terrified, I suffered a lot, I was every day with butterflies in my stomach, a stomachache, because I was very nervous. I couldn't speak the language, so it was very hard to find a job as well. Something that really helped me to become a full-time freelance photographer was taking the risk. Because what happened is, when you are able to pay your bills because you have another full-time job, you don't push enough to get photography clients because you know you are safe. So when I dare to be very unsafe is when I push. So I quit my job and I went full-time freelance, but I didn't have enough clients at all to make even for my rent. But I started to push myself a lot. Fear is your best friend for these situations. I'm not saying you have to do it that way because it's very risky. So I'm not saying you have to do that, but it did work for me. How to stop comparing yourself to others. By the way, you are amazing. Thank you so much for that. I'm very happy that you like my work. You never stop comparing yourself to others. I still do it after 14 years, but it doesn't affect me anymore. I've learned to love my photography. That doesn't mean I have days when I hate my photography, because that happens a lot. I'm like, I don't like it anymore. It happens many times. The imposter syndrome, guys, it does happen all the time. Even if you are a professional photographer, you just have to learn how to deal with it. So compare yourself to others in a healthy way. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna be a beginner and you're gonna compare yourself to big photographers that they're on the game for 14 years or 15 years or 20 years. Of course they're gonna be better than you. They have better camera, better lenses, better knowledge, more experience. Don't do that. It's unrealistic. So as I always say, compare yourself to how you were before, because you're gonna see the improvement and you're gonna feel more encouraged. Gear for a home photography studio. You may not have seen it. So many people love this video. I do have 3 videos about this, so I'm gonna link one below where I explain the gear you can have in your home photography studio, even if it's super small, like in a room, like I used to have in London. It's how I started. And I explain all the gear and super affordable. So I'm gonna link the video below so you can see it and you're gonna be able to see all the gear I recommend in the links below the video. Do you shoot in big studios? Yes, I do. I did shoot way more before because I was working as a creative director for a fashion company. I was shooting in big studios. I was shooting product photography in independent studios as well. And this is something I don't do that much anymore because then I became my own boss. I do have my own business. So I don't have my home photography studio and I shoot outdoors. So I don't do it more anymore, maybe sometimes, but not enough. But I used to, and it's exactly the same, guys. It doesn't have to be that intimidating. How is life treating you? Well, very bad lately. Very bad. So many things happened for me this year. I don't speak too much about this, but I think it's very good to talk about these things as well with you, because social media is packed of people sharing perfect lives, and we don't have perfect lives, neither of us, you know. Yes, I do have an amazing life because I live out of what I love. I created my YouTube channel and it's going well. I have client work for my photography, so I'm very happy about that. But there is more aspects in life than career. And personally, my personal level, well, my dog passed away. So this was very hard for me because he was like my baby. I live in London, so it was very hard to receive the news. And I love her so much. And if you have a dog, and maybe even if you don't have it, you know how hard it is to lose a dog because they are literally like family. So that really hit me. Then I went through surgery. I've been suffering a lot of pain, trust me, the worst pain I've ever had in my life. Then I had this bad luck with my surgery. I got infection, so it's taking longer than expected to recover. And then I missed a gig with Aperture, which is an incredible lighting brand, in an amazing event in London. It's one of the biggest events in the cinema industry. I was very excited to go there. It was an amazing opportunity and I had to cancel recently because obviously I'm still in Spain, I'm not recovered and I cannot do it. So it was very hard to miss an opportunity like that for me, but health is first. So regarding life, it was very tough this month, but I keep positive because so many good things are coming my way. I'm gonna tell you soon on my channel about this, but I'm so excited about my projects and about everything that is coming this year for me that I'm grabbing that to be positive. So I'm very happy. It's been hard on me, but I'm very happy. How to believe in yourself and in your photography. This is something, wow, I struggle a lot. I struggle a lot till the point when people were coming to me and they were telling me, I love your photography. I didn't even believe it. I was so humbled, like, oh my God, really? You like my photography? And people is like, what are you talking about? I love your photography, it's amazing. You have the imposter syndrome all the time, and that's never gonna change. So it never happens. You just have to really spoil your craft and worry about getting better, and try to love your photography and yourself and embrace it. It's very hard to trust yourself. It's very hard to trust your work because you always can get better, but you just have to learn how to handle the situation because it's very hard to believe in yourself. You just have to do it. You have to believe your love for photography. If you do that, most likely you're gonna experiment and get better and better till you learn how to trust yourself and your photography. What's your biggest professional goal? I love this question because I like to put myself goals and be very clear about that, because otherwise, if you don't have a specific goal, very, very specific, it's very hard to get it. If you don't know where you are going, where are you gonna go? Which path you're gonna take? So I wanna become better and better at photography, better and better at making videos. I love filmmaking and doing an incredible merge between photography and video and be very good at it. And just be economically independent and fully remote with my camera, which I'm very happy about. How do you balance your work and personal life? Do you give yourself at least one day off per week? I'm gonna be very honest with this because it may seem like I have everything, I don't know how to explain, organized. Because yes, I rarely miss YouTube uploads. I have client work, I have my private community, I have many other projects in the background, my surgery, traveling. It's insane. So I push through everything. I'm doing very well, but it's very tough to handle it. So no, I don't give myself days off, which I had to change that. I'm gonna change it because you have to rest. If there is something very positive I took about this surgery, is that being bored in bed without being able to do anything for almost a month, guys, I have a massive list of YouTube video ideas that you're gonna love when that in London never happens, because in London I'm so stressed that ideas don't flow. So I promise myself I'm gonna give myself at least one day off and another day of very light work at least, because you need it, and if you are creative, you need it. Then, what's the best portrait lens in your opinion? Or what lens do you use the most? I have to say, I have a lens which is the 105mm from Sigma f1.4. Very heavy, very bulky, it breaks my back, it breaks my hands every time I use it. But it's the best portrait lens I've ever tried in my life, and I love it. And I'm gonna take it on my travels. Many people don't take it for traveling because it's very heavy, but I have to take it with me because it's just too good. So that one is for sure my favorite lens. What camera gear did you have when you went pro? So I did own a Canon 30D, but it was still like a hobby by then. When I became pro, it was the Canon 7D. The Canon 7D made me pro, and it's a very average camera, and I was already making money in London with that one, so yeah, that one it was. So how do you manage to still be creative and not focus on money when you are transitioning to professional work? I love this question. It's very easy to fall into the trap of shooting whatever it comes your way and then start hating photography. So you're gonna have to be very careful with this, because there is a very thin line between love and hate. And I love photography, but then I needed to make money with the camera. So it's like, if I want to make of this a full-time job, I had to take everything that comes my way. And many times I did have projects I hated, I didn't enjoy, and I do love many niches, but I just didn't enjoy to shoot something the other person wanted rather than to what I wanted. Make sure to have the perfect balance between paid work you don't like and even unpaid work you really love doing. Keep always the balance, because otherwise you may end up hating photography. You have to be careful. What is your bucket list shot? What's the one image that's been in your mind forever? So you may know, I'm not sure because I don't mention it enough on my videos, but you're gonna see it soon hopefully. I'm a certified freediver and scuba diver, but I love freediving. And one of my dreams is to become an underwater photographer as well. Do underwater photography. And I would love to dive with whales and do underwater photography with whales. So it's not like a specific shot. I just want to shoot underwater while I free dive. So this is one of my dreams, and hopefully you're gonna follow my journey on YouTube, because this year I'm gonna try to follow those dreams. How do you organize your days to do your work, YouTube, your private community, and just life? This is very related to the one I answered before. It's very hard. It's very hard. And I had to say, you had to do so many sacrifices, like being less social with your friends, and I hate this. But I'm chasing dreams. I'm trying to grow. It's my business. I live out of my business. So nobody's gonna work for me. So I just have to push through. So I go out way less. I meet with my friends way less than I would love to. Even if I do, I would love to do it more. But to keep up with my channel, my private community, client work, and keep learning new skills to improve my YouTube channel and improve my photography and be able to charge more with my clients because I'm getting better, I just work a lot, and then you have to have balance, and I had to work on this, as I said before, but yeah, working a lot. I woke up every day at 5:30 in the morning or 6 as latest. I do work a lot. I'm a morning person. I go to the gym and I start working like crazy. What do you do when you have mental health roadblocks and aren't feeling creative? I love this question because I do struggle with this. You may not feel like, because I'm always very bubbly on my videos, but I do go through very hard periods of my life because London is not making me really happy right now. It rains a lot. I'm Spanish. I miss my sunshine and the sea. And I have a small photography studio, which is fine for photos. I'm very happy with that. But when I get more and more creative with my videos, and I have a very limited space, so that, creatively talking, is killing me. So I do go through periods where it costs me a lot to record because I'm not inspired and I feel incredibly low on my mood. And I have to be happy when I record with you guys because otherwise I'm gonna be miserable on camera. So the only thing you have to do is just try to push through or try to take your camera. If, for example, you don't feel like in the mood to do a specific project, try to do something that really excites you. So I would say to handle this, what you have to do is make sure the days you feel low to try to do something you love to cheer yourself up first and then push through. If that happens, it's normal, and when you are creative and you are in a low mood, it's very hard to be creative. I recognize that. How to price your photography. I'm doing a course about this, but I'm gonna be very honest with you, it's costing me so much because I have so many projects, as I told you. And I'm going very thorough in that video about how to charge from beginner to pro. Why? Because this is one of the hardest things I ever encountered as a photographer. I was suffering a lot. I had no clue how much to charge, when to start charging. So I'm doing a course where I'm gonna tell you exactly how much you have to charge and which factors to consider. So many of you are asking me, and that's totally fine, I don't blame you, how much you should charge and tell you numbers. How the hell I'm gonna put numbers to your photography? You are the artist. You are the one who knows your niche. Then depending on your location as well, you're gonna have to charge differently. I don't charge the same in London than in another country because the economy is different. Then you have to take into account as well the brand or the client. Not everyone has the same budget. There are so many factors to charge your photography. So guys, I cannot put price to your photography because there are so many things you have to take into consideration. So I'm gonna do a course about this because it's way too long and way too extensive, but it's gonna help you a lot. What was the hardest thing to do at the beginning of your career? I'm gonna reply to another question I have here at the same time about the voices. If I had problems with people telling me that photography was not a job, I did have many problems with that. And I'm a very family-oriented person, so I'm very close to my parents. I love them. I talk to my mom almost every single day when I'm in Spain. I'm very close to them. So for me, their opinion matters a lot. But my parents never believe in my photography, not in my photography. In general, it's like, Laura, photography is not a job. You are crazy. You have to do it like a hobby. Oh guys, I did struggle with this a lot because they were hurting me a lot with their opinions. But then I had to switch the mood and be like, okay, Laura, you have to think they do it out of love because they are scared. They are scared for you, it's another generation. They don't know how photography is in London because they live in Spain, and in Spain it's a bit harder. So just think, Laura, they do it out of love because they care about, your situation. That's it. It's nothing else than that. So yes, the hardest part for me was that because it was hard for me to believe in myself. And if I had people around me telling me, you cannot live out of photography, it really affected me and put me down. So it was very hard. I did have to overcome that and push through regardless of the voices and regardless of my fears and regardless of my lack of self-confidence. I pushed through and I'm very happy I did it, but that was the hardest thing for me, no doubt. Are you single? Yes, I'm single and I'm very happy single because I'm very selfish with my time and I have so many dreams and so many goals and so many passions. So it's not something like I'm looking for being with someone. Of course, one day I will be, but I'm not in a rush because right now, to be fair, my career deserves its full attention because I love it and I'm growing now and I'm very happy. So that's the good thing about having so many dreams and goals and passions, that you don't feel alone that much because you are just investing it in your craft. So yeah, maybe one day I will be with someone, but right now I'm single. If you had to go back to when you first picked a camera, what would be the first piece of advice you would give to your younger self? I love this question, Tony. I love this question because it makes me reflect and hopefully it will help you as well. So I started photography as a hobby and I think this is the best piece of advice. I wouldn't chase a thing because when you start photography as a hobby, you don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself to make money with your camera. You cannot focus on being creative and getting better if you have the pressure of the money. So I would start with photography as a hobby and I would focus on getting better. That's the best advice I can give you. In my personal situation, I think I did everything right because I started as a hobby and then I went growing slowly. I did many mistakes. That's why I started this YouTube channel, because I didn't find the advice I needed when I started regarding how to start making a living from your camera. So that's why I try to help you all the time, because I didn't find videos about this and I was very lost. So one of the tips I would give to my younger self is to don't focus in just one niche. I do mention many times this on my channel because it's one of the things I wasted so much time in. I was all the time thinking, what's my niche? What's my style of photography? How I can focus in photography and make money in just one niche, because everyone tells you you have to focus on one. I wasted years till I found out you can shoot within many niches and still make money and be professional. So you can have a one main niche, but don't leave the others, because it's gonna make you a versatile photographer and you're gonna make more money. Why did you choose the bass guitar as an instrument? My weapons are a camera and a bass as well. I don't know, I just love the bass guitar since I was a kid and I love the sound of it. So every time I listen to music, I love the sound of it and I always wanted to learn it. And during the pandemic, I started to learn it and I really love it. So yeah, I guess that's why I love my camera, and the only instrument I play is the bass, but I'm still learning, so I still have to improve a lot. I'm trying to move out to another country to pursue photography. Any tips from your experience? This is exactly what I did. So the only tip I can give you is just do it. Because I'm sorry you are doubting or you are scared, just move and start working your way. So obviously, if you go to another country, you are totally new there. So what I would do is find an easy job, like a job you can have and you know you have experience or you're gonna be good at it, just to be safe and have money. And once you are able to pay your bills, start to pitch brands. And I mean, I have so many videos about this, so I'm not gonna explain this, but on my channel you have a lot of videos about how to find clients, regardless of where you live as well. So I would do that, find a job which is gonna give you safety, and then try to grow as a photographer. And then you transition and voila, you can be a full-time freelance photographer. It takes time, obviously, it seems very easy, but that's what I would do, 100%. When do you start to feel like you are a professional photographer? I'm 11 years in and I still struggle. If your level is good enough and you are already getting paid for your work, that's being a professional photographer, okay? So for me, it was when I became freelancer. I wasn't even freelancing full-time, but I consider myself already professional because I was doing it quite a lot and I was getting paid, even if it wasn't a full-time income. So the moment you start to get paid for it and you have a little bit of flow going in the creative industry, you are a professional photographer. How do you get over the initial fear of starting your own YouTube channel? I did struggle with this a lot because it's been for many years I wanted to start a YouTube channel. Many years I thought about it and I was like, no, it's a lot of work. I don't know about video. Then obviously we all have fears, insecurities, about being in front of a camera. I have a very thick Spanish accent, and you guys gave me confidence because most of you love my accent, so thank you so much for that, because I don't like it, but at the same time, it's my accent. I'm Spanish, and it is what it is, and I live in London for 10 years. It's one of the most multicultural cities in the world, and I love accents. So just thinking these kind of things, it's like, yes, people gonna judge because people are like that, but just care about what you do, the value you give to others, and that's it. Which preset of yours do you think would look good for an outdoor sunset type portrait? So I do have a couple of presets, moody greens and highlands. That one is more for moody shots. You guys know I love moody shots. So in the editorial collection, you have two particular presets, which are faded browns and purples and blues, which look incredible for sunsets. For sunsets or any kind of work, to be fair. It doesn't matter the weather, it's gonna work. But those two are very good. What's the best thing to come from YouTube that you didn't expect or anticipate? Andrew. Thank you so much for asking this, because so many things came out of YouTube that I didn't expect. But mostly is the audience. Of course, you're gonna build an audience if you are consistent, but I mean the quality of every one of you. I received so much love during my surgery. I received so many messages, emails, so freaking meaningful. Many times I have tears on my eyes. But so many of you are very engaged with me. Some of you are already friends and you know who you are, but I'm trying to always reply to all of you because I wanted a community, not just growing a channel because of the job, the money, blah, 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 which as well obviously is a business, but because of the community of beautiful human beings and creatives, and we share the same passion, so we can geek about gear and about topics we all love. So the amazing audience, the exposure as well. It's amazing the exposure YouTube give me for my photography business, but mostly the people I'm meeting on the way, the collaborations I'm doing, the conversations I have with many of you, which really inspire me when I listen to your stories. So definitely the engaged audience I have. So thank you so much, because you guys really make me smile every time I read your messages. Has there ever been a time that listening to music inspired your photography? Yes, constantly, all the time. I can't work without music. When I'm doing photography, shooting or editing, or even when I'm planning the photo shoots, I need music. So yes, music for me goes hand by hand with my creativity. I love it. And also because I shoot music artists in London, like even more, you know? So yes, definitely yes, music for me is life. Is there a chance you will do a presence-based seminar in Spain on how to become freelance? I'm gonna reply in general because so many of you ask me from different places around the world. So for now, I may not do it, but I want to do it very badly because I wanna get to know you face to face, and I would love to meet you guys, all of us with a camera going around taking pictures and obviously teaching what I humbly know. So this is something I really want to do. So I'm gonna start traveling this year. I will say more about this in the future on my channel, but whenever I'm gonna visit different countries, I may say it on my Instagram account so we can do like meetups or workshops or things like that. So this is something I really want to do. Will you make videos in Spanish? I've received this question a lot, and I understand that I'm in Spanish, but it's 10 years I'm living in London. All my friends are English speakers, all my clients are English. I've been speaking in English 10 years. And also because you know this already, with English, you reach way many more people on YouTube. And then you guys ask me a lot if I'm gonna do a channel in Spanish. I can't. Probably you are not aware, but a YouTube channel takes a lot of effort. Like I barely can keep up doing everything on my own, at least for now. In the future, if I grow, I have a team, blah, 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 maybe, but right now I can't do it. And thank you so much to every single one of you that even told me, Laura, no questions, I just wish you a happy recovery. So I'm very overwhelmed with the love, guys. I'm very happy you don't see me just like a mentor and a teacher and a YouTuber. Like, I'm a human being. So yeah, when I receive love, I do feel it. So thank you so much to every one of you, because when I was very bad and miserable in the hospital, I was reading and seriously, you put a smile on my face. Comment below if you have any more questions. I will try to answer to every single comment because I left so many on a side, not for any particular reason, by the way. It's just random how I pick the questions because there are so many. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you didn't yet, subscribe to my channel and like the video because it helps a lot, and I will see you very soon. Big love.